It's Friday night and time for Indiana High School football on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Tonight's game is driven by Greg Hubler Ford, located at the corner of McGalliard and Nebo Road in Muncie, or visit them at greghublerauto.com. And brought to you in part by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com. By Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com. And by High Gear Marketing at highgearmktg.com. Now, let's go to the field for tonight's game of the week on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459. or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com. Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
It was not so long ago that summer slipped away and fall was still young. Late August brought optimism for a new season of high school football, a level playing field for all 331 teams in the state of Indiana. 9 weeks later, and these young men have been battle-tested ahead of the daunting obstacle that is the postseason. But first, one final regular season test, a c'est la vie for these seniors in their last ever regular season matchup, and a chance to carry momentum forward to the future. The two teams that we'll be showcasing tonight could certainly use some of that momentum. With just 3 wins in total between them, it puts all the more emphasis on securing a victory tonight and more pressure on two struggling teams to perform. The playoffs are already set, and quite frankly, the destinies of these two teams are set in stone, which leaves us with one of the rarest and most underappreciated of sporting events. This is a clash of cultures tonight, a true test of a season's worth of work, and which team is willing to give it all for nothing more than the love of the game. It's the Blackford Bruins and the Frankton Eagles, our East Central Indiana Game of the Week on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. And welcome inside the booth for the final time in 2022, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sam Niger. With me once more is my partner, Caden Vincent. Caden, these might not be the two most talented teams on paper, but you better believe they've got a great show in store for us tonight.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You just mentioned it. Both teams with losing streaks. Blackford obviously has lost 3 in a row, with Frankton have lost 5 in a row. So both teams trying to gain a lot of momentum going into the playoffs for sure. But Blackford especially, since that tough loss 49-0, really looking for a bounce back.
These are two teams that could definitely use a win heading into what could be both of their final games of their 2022 seasons, with just 1 week of the playoffs, and we are just 1 week away from the postseason. But of course, as we said, a great game tonight for us here at Frankton High School. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back in just a moment here on senior night for the Frankton Eagles. It's the Frankton Eagles and the Blackford Bruins.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com. Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com. Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Frankton High School. Just minutes away from kickoff now between the Frankton Eagles and the Blackford Bruins. Last game of the regular season here in 2022. Sam Niger, Caden Vincent here with you on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Caden, these are two teams that are desperate for a win tonight. They haven't had the greatest of seasons. How do you get it done? You look to your stars. And that brings us to our key players of the game this evening. Let's start with the visiting Blackford Bruins. As a program, they really could use this win a lot more. Who is one guy that they look to see if they can get that done tonight?
Yeah, I think we have to look into the offense, and especially their running back, number 24, Peyton James. He was injured earlier, actually last time that I believe you watched him play in person. but he's really looking to make a statement and leave a legacy on the football field as it is his final game. And you could tell when he was in the games versus out, really made such an impact on and off the field.
Yeah, that game you're talking about was week 3 of this season. Actually, 6 weeks ago, we covered the Blackford Bruins against the Alexandria Monroe Tigers. The Tigers won that game, actually 42-0, put a running clock on Blackford. So James was sorely missed. That was the first game of the season in which he was injured. He might not have the biggest impact on tonight's game, but he is a senior. He is a leader. And to see him get some carries on the field in his final regular season game will be quite a sight to see for the Bruins, and definitely a good sign for their program heading into the postseason. As for Frankton, they've been a little more successful this season, and therefore they also have a little bit more offensive talent as well. And we're going to stick with a good offensive player for Frankton as well after this break on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459. or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Frankton High School, where we just left off before we were cut off by the national anthem. We were talking about the key players of tonight's game, Caden. Let's keep rolling with the Frankton Eagles. We said they've got some great offensive talent, but that offensive talent starts at the quarterback position. Who do we need to look to tonight at the quarterback position for Frankton to get it done?
It does indeed, and that's going to be number 4, Gage Rastetter. He's obviously a leader, and he's a real big bright spot in this offense, and he really creates a spark for this entire Frankton Eagles team. And you know what? He's honestly a really solid quarterback. He's got a 69.9 QB rating, but also he can move with his legs as well. He's got 62 carries for 131 yards. And to mention his passing numbers, 7 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions, a really, really great quality quarterback.
Yeah, Rastetter has had a very high-quality season for his senior year, and it is senior night for him. We just saw him announced a few minutes ago, so definitely a big game for him as well. But look, Caden, we talked about this at the top of our show. This is a clash of cultures tonight.
Yeah.
And that means it's not just the players on the field. That's just not the stars for either of these squads. That's the team as a whole, and also the coaches on the field as well as the fans in the stand. Caden, what do these two teams need to do as a unit? What are the keys to the game? Let's start with Blackford to get a win tonight.
Yeah, well, I think first off, they want to get that sour taste of their mouth of losing 49-0 just 1 week ago. But for them, they got to possess the football. They cannot have any turnovers because it's only going to give Frankton a lot of momentum. And obviously, they got to maintain the ball, and with that, control the clock, control the side of the game, and really have these long, steady, consistent drives, really drive down the field, but use a lot of that clock. And I think definitely that really will help them for sure.
It's all about getting back to the fundamentals for Blackford for sure. For Frankton, it's a little bit of a different story. We mentioned their offensive success this year. They've played in a lot closer games. What takes them over the edge tonight? What is their key to the game?
Well, I think they're going to want to come out, obviously it is senior night, but they're going to want to come out fast. They're going to want a fast start. They're going to have real quick tempo, I believe, and really get that whole, not only offense momentum, but that entire team momentum to really get this game going.
This is going to be a fun one between the Frankton Eagles and the Blackford Bruins. Caden, just a few minutes away from football now as the teams meet at the center of the field to have the coin toss. It is the Frankton Eagles wearing the red jerseys, the red helmets with the black pants. Blackford also going with black pants, but they've got those white jerseys and then those red and black helmets similar to the helmets you would see of the Michigan Wolverines, just in a red and black. Clock says about 2.5 minutes. Caden, any final thoughts for you heading into this game?
I can't believe it's already week 9. It's crazy how fast the
is.
season goes. But I'm just really looking to see how both teams are going to come out after, because as we mentioned also in the pregame is that both teams are dealing with losing streaks. Blackford obviously lost 3 in a row, and Frankton with 5 in a row. But I just feel like Blackford's going to come out just firing, honestly. And I know we talked about how Frankton's going to start with that fast start, but it would not surprise me if Blackford maybe throws a little bit of trick plays here and there, because they lost 49-0, and remember, even though they lost 3 in a row, they're 1-7, and they are really struggling mightily. And Frankton not too far behind, but it was a closer game last time, so I would not be surprised if both teams start off hot tonight.
Well, I know you love your trick plays, Caden.
I do. That and the offensive line.
But I think both of these teams have the ability to throw out a trick play or to mix it up in the final game of the regular season.
For sure, you got to.
Especially Blackford with such a run-heavy offense. Their offense is designed on misdirection in the backfield. The more they're able to confuse this Frankton defense, the better chance they're going to have at actually winning this game. The Blackford offense has struggled big time this year, though only 6 points per game, but that pales in comparison to their defense giving up about 41.3 points per game. It's some pretty crazy numbers for the Bruins, but they have a chance to get it done tonight against another struggling Eagles team. So Blackford won the toss, Caden, and they actually elected to receive. So you said it, they're going to want to come out firing, and that brings up the Frankton Eagles defense, who has been a pretty solid unit this year. They've averaged about 22.3 points per game against them, but that's just a testament, really, to Frankton's season as a whole. They've lost a lot of really close games, some pretty low-scoring ones as well.
Well, I mean, that's just a huge thing to their defense as well, is that they've kept them in every single game and given them a chance to win. As you mentioned, they're only averaging 20 points per game, but they're only giving up 22, which is really impressive, especially at this level for high school football.
Well, we talked about the quarterback for the Frankton Eagles in Gage Rastetter. We haven't yet touched on Blackford's quarterback. That's number 1, Carson Smith. He's 5'10", 180 pounds. Another senior, just one of 3 seniors on the offensive side of the ball for Blackford. A pretty crazy stat as well. A very young team is this Blackford Bruins team, but he's only thrown 36 passes this year for 133
they're run heavy
yards.
for sure,
Absolutely. His QBR is a measly 2.9 and 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the year. Another pretty unfathomable stat as we get ready to see what Carson Smith and company will have for us on drive 1. After the opening kick, it is going to be fielded inside the 10, bouncing around and dropped at the 10-yard line is the Blackford returner. And we will set up with football in just a moment now.
Hernandez on the run back for the Blackford Bruins.
Yeah, who's to say they won't start with a pass here, maybe expecting the run. But Blackford's definitely going to want a quick start, and only averaging 6 points per game. It would not surprise me if they make something happen here on their first drive.
Well, Peyton James and Brian Hernandez are the 2 major backs for Blackford. Nicholas Eli also gets some carries. He's got 17 on the year. Starting from right about the 10, bunched way up with the end zone over their shoulders, and they are going to run it on first down out to the left. And Frankton read it all the way. Of course, they're going to be expecting the run all night. What makes a great running team in Blackford is that the other team, the defense, knows they're going to run almost the entire time, Caden. It's just whether or not they're able to execute even when the defense knows it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a QB with a 2.9 rating, chances are you're going to run the ball a lot more than passing for sure.
Blackford also takes its time on the offensive side of the ball. We see that here. 30 seconds gone by, despite the fact that no yards have been gained yet. Under center goes Smith. And he got the defense jumping, and there goes flags. And already the Frankton defense is backing up, so the Bruins get him with the hard count here early. That's one way to gain yards for sure.
Hey, anything to get your offense going, or for that case, getting the defense going and jumping off sides, but anything to get momentum into this first drive for the Bruins.
Jitters on both sides here early. It's 2nd and 5 now. Under center again is Smith. He's got 3 backs in the backfield with him. He's going to hand it off, out to the right, bouncing off a couple of tacklers that time, and that'll be a first down, the first of the game for the Bruins. Carrying that time for Blackford was number 3. That's Austin Smith for the Bruins. Not listed as a starter, but also gets a few good carries for Blackford.
Yeah, but he is a senior, so you might think that, especially their last regular season game, that a lot of the seniors are going to get involved.
As much as Blackford does want to involve the seniors, this is also a very important game to win for the Bruins. First down now from the 22. It's a pitch out to the right, hauled in with one hand and immediately taking a shot. What a blow that time for the defense of Frankton. It was number 12, Austin Nunley, who delivered a big hit that time.
Yeah, that was a great tackle, way to get through the hole, and nothing you could do about that one. Great wrap up, and that'll bring up a second down and 10.
Third and fourth quarter. All proceeds tonight going to our Hoopin' for Hats charity foundation.
It'll be 2nd and 8 now, 2nd and 7 on the big scoreboard. Somehow went down as a 3-yard carry.
I don't know how.
Despite a great read by the Frankton defense. Under center again goes Smith. And he handed it off and breaking away for a big, big hole. He had us even fooled up here in the booth. Over into Frankton territory and heading towards the end zone. What a huge run for the Blackford Bruins. It was Brian Hernandez for Blackford.
What a run. Getting to that outside, and he was gone. And I love that little cutback right about the 40 because it looked like he was going to go out of bounds at about the 35-yard line, and that little cutback gave him about 20 good yards. And I believe that was number 11 on the tackle, Brandon Douglas trying to get in there and hopefully stopping the touchdown.
Yeah, Douglas, that was a touchdown-saving tackle here early in the first quarter. That could be exactly the momentum that Blackford needed. We mentioned a struggling offense all year. We'll see if they have something dialed up on the first drive. They'll give it to Hernandez again. The quarterback, Smith, fell down in the transition, and it'll only be about 2 or 3 yards on the carry.
I can't blame them for running the ball. 1, because this is a run-heavy team. 2, after that big burst. I just want to talk about what I saw from that play. I saw him, because it looked like he was going straight down the middle and then cut outside, and then it was just one-on-one. But who's to say that tackle by Douglas is not going to make a huge impact, especially with this Blackford struggling offense?
It might. Blackford has certainly struggled to punch it in when they are in the red zone like they are right now from the 17-yard line. Under center, Smith. And there's movement up front. The snap was fumbled, but it looks like it's going to be Blackford that moved early, so now shooting themselves in the foot with a false start.
I saw it was one of the fullbacks, actually, that jumped early, and as a result, it'll push them to now a 2nd and very long.
Yeah, 2nd and 14 right now facing Blackford. Aside from that one giant play, we haven't seen a huge amount of chunk plays for Blackford this season. Hard to do when you do run the football so much. But they could use a couple of good runs here to keep this drive alive. Under center goes Donovan Soto this time, number 16. He hands it off, and bouncing off a tackler that time to at least get back to the original line of scrimmage. That was Austin Smith, number 3.
Yeah, nice run by Smith, going for every single yard and fighting for everything he could, but now that'll bring up a still 3rd and long.
Donovan Soto doing the quarterback duties right now for Blackford. He was listed at the start of this season as a split end. 5'8", 145 pounds, the junior. He's got 31 carries for 113 yards this year as well. He is going to drop back to pass now. Soto receives the pressure, and he just has to check it down. A whole flock of Eagles were in there bringing the pressure, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 9. So the Frankton defense holds tough, Caden.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, that tackle by Douglas indeed did make a huge impact. But great rush. I love that they sent 5 guys up, and there was no blocking as the Eagles defense got to him very quickly. And a quarterback who's been struggling this year, as we mentioned, could not find anyone, but barely had any time to even release the ball.
You mentioned that pressure. Blackford has 5 sophomores up front on the offensive line, so they'll have to turn to field goal kicker number 10. That's Grant Ridgway, the sophomore for the Bruins, to open the scoring. And it is way off target to the left, had the distance, not the accuracy, and it remains 0-0 here early in the first quarter. We are going to take our first break on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Don't go anywhere. We are still knotted up between the Eagles and the Bruins.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Frankton High School, where the Eagles take over with their first offensive possession of the evening. Under center, it's Rastetter. On first down, he's going to hand it off in the backfield. A little bit of space before being tripped up here on the near side. It was Crew Farrell, the halfback, who got the first touch on offense for Frankton.
I just want to talk about how, because there was about 7.5 minutes, which means something that we talked about was control the ball and try and keep that clock running. And that's something that the Bruins did. Despite not scoring any points, they really had a nice drive going.
Blackford's certainly going to want to keep this game as close as possible for as long as possible. Braden Douglas might have something to say about that with a hole up to the right side now. And he keeps barreling down the field all the way into Blackford territory. A nice run. And here is Frankton showing off a little misdirection in the backfield as well, Caden.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's the last week of the season. Could you blame them? They definitely want to. But it looks like they're coming back, and I think there might be holding.
Yeah, I didn't see a flag on that play for either of these sides, but the officials say otherwise, and that is going to be backed up to now a 2nd and long.
I guess that explains why there was a giant hole for him to get out.
A lot of space on the right side, but I do like the play calling here for Frankton early.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
This is a team that has a very balanced offense in comparison to Blackford. They do throw the ball a decent amount. As we mentioned, Rastetter very comfortable throwing the football.
I mean, this is a team that could very well be either 2-6 or 6-2, the way that they've played.
Yeah,
look, I haven't looked at all their games.
Yeah, they have some very close games between these two. Again, just lost by 7 again last week at Alexandria Monroe. Under center again, however, goes Rastetter, and he is going to hand it off up the middle. Blackford read it well that time on the defensive side, and it'll be 3rd and long for Frankton.
They lose that on the run up the middle for Frankton. That'll bring up
and now here's a chance for the Bruins to get off the field early on defense. You got to be throwing here, right? Third and long?
You would think Rastetter, a very capable quarterback. He's got 6.5 minutes to work with here in quarter number 1. Still no score. Rastetter likes to take it from under center. He does so here on 3rd and long. Dropping back to pass, plenty of time, quick throw, and it's complete, but well short. The official actually says it's out of bounds, so a little off the money that time from Rastetter, and it'll bring out the punting crew.
They'll bring up 4th down for Frankton.
Was a nice catch, even though he was out of bounds, though, but a good effort there by the receiver.
The punter is Braden Douglas, number 11 for Frankton. The returner back deep for Blackford is number 44, Brian Hernandez. He broke open that big run on the first drive. Stands at about the 50. And it's a decent punt this time. It'll be fielded just inside Blackford territory, so good field position for the Bruins to work with on drive number 2.
Yeah, now let's see if how the Bruins will do their second drive, because as we mentioned, they had, even though they didn't have a lot of great gains, they did have that one explosive play. So if you're the Eagles, you got to limit that for sure, especially being how close they are to midfield now.
This is a very capable Eagles defense. We'll see if they can't assert their dominance here on drive number 2 for Blackford. It's from the 48-yard line. Here's the snap. It's Soto again at quarterback. He rolls out to his right. It's a QB keeper, and he takes a shot in the backfield. What a tackle that time by the Frankton defender. It was number 12, Austin Nunley again, the second time we've called his name tonight, and it was a big play on first down.
Yeah, Nunley making a great tackle, getting right in there and slamming him down. And good job by the quarterback of not fumbling that, because he was right over him.
What did we say? Assert the dominance here early for Frankton, and if that's on the defensive side of the ball, the Eagles will take that here in what has been a very quick and a very low-scoring first quarter. It doesn't get more low-scoring than this. Knotted up at zeros with 5.5 to play. 2nd and 11 now. Under center. It is Soto again, and once more they get the defense to jump.
Wow.
Frankton pointing in the direction of Blackford, and it does appear that perhaps the Bruins jump first this time. So jitters on both sides. It'll be second and 16 rather. So not exactly what the doctor ordered for Blackford.
No, not at all, especially given the field position already being near midfield and having a little bit of signs of some good offense going, but the penalties are not going to help. Something that we didn't mention was the penalties, so let's see how that puts into play in this game.
Blackford has not been the most disciplined team this year, and it looks like the ball was fumbled in that change of possession between the quarterback and the running back, and Blackford somehow fell on it. It's going to be third down and very long, very, very scary scenario there for the Bruins.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of the word exchange there, Caden. Of course, I think of it 2 seconds after the play is over, but I guess it's been a long day for all of us. Long week.
It's a Friday.
It has. Man, we broke that out a ton last week.
We did indeed.
But of course, back from fall break, both of us Ball State University students. Happy to be back for the final week of the regular season.
And all the venues have been so special.
They have.
The communities have all been so great.
Frankton is especially one of those communities as Soto drops back to pass on third and long. He hucks it downfield. It's a short throw, tipped up in the air, and it falls incomplete. It wasn't the greatest throw from Soto, but I think the Bruins will be glad to dodge an interception that time, as it's going to bring out the punting crew for the first time tonight for Blackford.
I will say, though, where they are right now on the field, I mean, we'll see how they do punting for the first time, but, I mean, he threw it up. If he would have picked that, there was two guys right there. They would have been at about the 30-yard line, and honestly, almost as good as a good 30-yard punt. So, we'll see kind of like if that maybe backfires, is not trying to intercept that and just trying to bat it down.
We'll see if the punter, number 10, Grant Ridgway, will back that up. And it looks like a pretty decent punt. It is fielded just inside the 40, and with a head of steam forward goes Nunley, and Nunley has some space. Nunley is going to head towards the end zone, and he's going to be taken down just inside the 5-yard line. What a return that time by number 12 for Blackford, or for Frankton, rather, Austin Nunley. Huge, huge special teams play to get the momentum rolling here, Caden.
And now how smart was it not trying to intercept that ball? Great job, able to elude the defense, get to the outside, find the blockers, and a burst of steam is what I like to call that one.
Yeah.
Nice touchdown-saving tackle, though, by the 10-yard line.
Nunley, one of the biggest boys on the field at 6'2", 180 pounds, and he showed his size and strength and speed there on that punt return. So now with 4 minutes to play, here in quarter number one, it's going to be a quick pitch. Out to his right and scampering into the end zone, Nate Lazatter. His first touch is a touchdown. And it's the opening score of this ballgame, 6-0 Frankton. Just like that, a one-play drive to take the Eagles over the edge.
How about the freshman making an impact here? Hey, it's senior night. It's time for the freshmen to come out. Great run. Got right up the middle, followed his blockers, and that's 6 points. And now, all of a sudden, it looks like all the momentum is on Frankton's side.
And that is nothing new for Lazatter this year. 6 touchdowns heading into tonight on the ground. He had 510 yards on 118 carries heading into tonight. And he is the future of this Frankton team running the football. What great versatility as a runner, and he shows it there, knifing his way through the defense into the end zone. We're going to take a quick break here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Don't go anywhere. It looks like we've got a good one early.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com. Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment?
Welcome back to Frankton High School, ladies and gentlemen, where the Eagles have just taken the lead over the Blackford Bruins. The score is 7-0 after the made extra point, and the Eagles will kick it away to Blackford after what was a very successful second drive after a huge punt return by number 12, Austin Nunley. The kick is away here, and Blackford will have a little better field position this time than they did on their opening drive, Caden, at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, well, something that we talked about in the pregame was they're going to want to start fast. And even though it was their second score, you could see the quick tempo that we saw from the Eagles going right down. And even though it was a great return, you could see that fast tempo on the offense set by the quarterback, and then they're finishing it for the touchdown.
The ability to finish any drive in one play certainly is a testament to the prolific offense that Frankton has. We'll see if the defense can back it up again. They certainly did on that last drive. 3:50 on the clock right now in the first quarter. Does Blackford have a response on the offensive side of the ball? It's been Soto at the quarterback position. He is listed as the split end. He goes with the quarterback duties again on drive number 3, and it'll be about maybe only a 1-yard carry for Blackford on the first play of this drive. Yeah. Frankton's defense has been up to the task. They've been great at stopping the run this year. They've been great at just getting into the backfield. 22 sacks as a team is Frankton, and 8 interceptions on the year. Very solid unit.
Yeah, they're a real mature and responsible defense. You know, we've seen them time and time again making great plays, especially just even tonight, in fact. But it'll be really nice to see how both teams are going to respond if Blackford's offense can get rolling, kind of like they did back in that first drive, or if it'll be the Frankton defense stepping up once again.
They'll need a little misdirection once more, and this time they're going to give it right up the middle, and Frankton read the misdirection perfectly, dropped the ball carrier Hernandez in the backfield. That was the man that opened up the big drive on the first drive of this game, but now it'll bring up 3rd down and 9 after little to no carry.
Yeah. And do we see another run here? I mean, I know it is a run-heavy team, but you're going to expect the run if you're Frankton's here.
Blackford has certainly relied on the passing game a little more than I thought they would, with Soto now playing at quarterback rather than Carson Smith, the senior. You have to wonder where Smith is. Soto, as we mentioned, listed as a split end. We'll see if he does throw here on 3rd down. It is going to be a run, and this time nothing going for the Bruins. This run-heavy offense is being shut down by Frankton right now. Kid.
Yeah, there are no holes right now for anyone to run through. And now as a result, Frankton's going to get the ball back, and I would imagine in pretty good field position. I would honestly just try and kick this out of bounds because you do not want to kick it back to Frankton and have excellent field position if he can burst another great return here.
Yeah, the return man back deep right now for the Eagles is number 12, Austin Nunley, who had that big return on the last punt. The other man back deep for Frankton is number 11. That's Braden Douglas. Both of these guys play 2 ways, 3 ways really if you count special teams. Here is the punt. It's much shorter, and it is going to bounce out of bounds right at about the 45 of the Bruins. So, as you said, Caden, great field position once more for this Eagles team.
And watch Frankton going with that quick tempo once again. We saw how it worked on their second drive. I don't expect anything less coming up on this 3rd drive.
It has been the run game that has worked for Frankton well in this first quarter. About a minute and a half of that first quarter left, but still plenty of time for Frankton to take a commanding lead heading into quarter number 2. It's Rastetter under center. 1st and 10 from the 45. He's going to hand it off. Getting the carry this time is Douglas, and Douglas falls forward for about 5 yards. I saw Brady Carmack and Braden Douglas, similar names, but Douglas gets the carry that time and a great 1st down carry.
You know, I know that we mentioned Rastetter, but I feel like we could have mentioned Braden Douglas because not only is he doing it on the offensive side, but he's doing it on the defensive side as well, making a lot of great plays on both ends, and as a result, really helping this Eagles team.
Rastetter has not thrown it a ton tonight. He's going to hand it off once more, and up the gut that time goes Lazatter for about a 3-yard carry. It'll be 3rd and short for Frankton.
I just love that you mentioned his stats earlier. I mean, he's a freshman, you know? I mean, I know this team doesn't have a lot of seniors, but they have a lot of leaders, and this guy certainly is one at just the freshman level. You got to give him a lot of credit.
Not the biggest guy at 5'6", 165, but he runs with such a force, and he runs for a 1st down here on 3rd and short, moving the sticks. And it takes a lot to ask that of a freshman, especially of his size, but apparently, as the old saying goes, it doesn't matter the size of the dog in the fight, it matters the size of the fight in the dog, and there is a lot of fight in Nate Lazatter.
Love that saying, Sam.
About 30 seconds left here in the first quarter.
It's absolutely true.
It is, and Lazatter is a testament to that. This time they're going to hand it off to Farrell instead, and Farrell another explosive run up the middle. He's been shifty running the football for the Eagles, and apparently Frankton doesn't even need to utilize the pass tonight against Blackford to really cut up this Bruins defense.
And now I'm going to go back to one of my old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're seeing
right.
the run game work extremely well right now for this Frankton offense.
We'll see one more play from Frankton. They snap it about 2 seconds before the first quarter clock. Winds down, and Farrell cuts through the defense once more, sheds a couple of tackles, and well into the red zone goes Farrell to end the first quarter.
Yeah, there is no stopping this run game. Let's see how the second quarter goes, if the Bruins will make an adjustment as we go into the commercials.
Yeah, it has been a quarter dominated by the Frankton Eagles. Still just 7-0 though as we head to the break at Frankton High School. The Eagles lead the Blackford Bruins on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
After switching sides at the end of quarter number one, the Frankton Eagles take over in the red zone on offense, already up 7-0 in this ball game over the Blackford Bruins, and still looking for more.
I think it's time for Caden's hot takes. You ready?
Yeah, go for it, Caden.
I think Frankton's going to run the ball.
I would say so.
Not much of a hot take, but I mean, they cannot stop them. Let's see if the Bruins will make any adjustments or if it's easy sailing once again for this Frankton offense.
Rastetter has been money throwing the ball this year. He's been pretty solid for Frankton, but he has not been involved in the passing game tonight. It has been all Nate Lazatter and Crew Farrell running the football. We'll see if that continues here with a fresh set of downs and a fresh clock here in quarter number two.
But I mean,
for Frankton,
if they've had success on the run, why stop it? You know. And I imagine that they will adjust eventually, and that Gage Rastetter, we'll see him throw the ball a lot, maybe later in the second quarter or in the second half.
Regardless, we're going to see a lot of Rastetter under center. He goes under center here. He does hand it off, and your hot take was, in fact, correct. This time, marching forward for about 5 yards or so. It'll be second and medium for the Eagles.
Hey, Lazatter on the run for Frankton, run down by number 55, Daniel Ludwig for the Bruins.
It was Lazatter on the carry that time for Frankton. It's been a pretty solid mix between Lazatter and Crew Farrell.
What we have to remember is that he can run the ball extremely well, too.
2nd and 5. Here's the pitch. It's Farrell this time. Gets to the edge, trying to shed a couple of tacklers, and what a great finishing tackle. Shoestring at its finest that time by Austin Smith for the Bruins.
Yeah, great tackle, able to get down to the 1 yard line, but as a result, able to stop him right before the goal line.
Yeah,
not the 1 yard line, but able to get him before he was able to get to the goal.
Yeah, they'll mark him down at about the 3 yard line. Still third down, though. The line to gain is the 1 yard line. So big third down coming up for Frankton. They'll go right up the middle and right into the end zone. What a commanding start to this second quarter. Running it down the throats of the Blackford Bruins here early is Frankton. That will make it 13-0 very early on in this second quarter as the Eagles are now commanding this game, Kate.
Yeah, and be aware that they might be able to run away with this if they get the ball back and score again. But, you know, this is a team that, for Blackford, is only averaging 6 points a game. They're going to need a good drive coming out. And, honestly, a slow-tempo drive. What we said earlier, they got to control that clock and really have a nice, consistent drive going down the field. Something as the extra point was
the extra
no
point was
good.
missed, so it's going to be 13
But,
nothing now.
No, as I was saying is that just have to make sure that they have momentum going down the field and that they don't have Frankton completely just run them out even before halftime.
Yeah, it's certainly been a game that Frankton looks like they can run away with here early. So a big drive coming up for Blackford, and it looked optimistic for the Bruins at the start of this game. They had a great run to start the game, courtesy of Brian Hernandez. Opened it up for probably 40-plus yards in one play to send them deep within Frankton territory. But since then, the Eagles' defense has been all over the Bruins. We'll see if that can continue here. But Caden, when you are such a run-heavy offense, how do you mix things up? How do you get different guys involved? Or is that even the key for Blackford? Should they stick to their guns, or should they mix things up a little, spice things up in the last game of the regular season?
I think it's all about making adjustments, and when you realize that a defense has figured out what plans and how you're going to run the ball, is that you do need to make changes. And for the Bruins, I think they got to do it fast, especially if they don't want to be down 21-0 at least by halftime. But for them, run some jet sweeps here. Really try and get the defense off and their feet, and really keep them on their toes so that they don't expect anything and that they get too comfortable that he's just going to sit in the pocket, just run the ball all day, because it's not going to work against this Frankton defense, and it hasn't yet tonight other than that one burst.
There are certainly ways to mix things up even when running the football, as the opening kickoff now is going to be fumbled inside the 20. Thankfully for Blackford, though, they were able to pick it back up as Hernandez is dropped at right about the 18-yard line is where the officials will spot him. So not great field position once more for Blackford.
Down at the 18-yard line, and Blackford will have it there first down.
Could just take a different approach and just start passing the ball. I know they haven't had a lot of success, but it is senior night, and it wouldn't surprise me if they did do that, because the run game has just not been working tonight.
Finally back in the game at quarterback for Blackford, though, is Carson Smith. He's their usual quarterback. He goes under center once again. Soto had a couple of plays in a row there at the quarterback position, a couple of throws as well. Smith is going to hand it off up the middle, bouncing outside, and dropped at about the 30-yard line. So there are multiple guys on this Blackford team that are pretending to run the football, trying to mix the defense up. But Frankton is reading this offense really well right now, just following the football, Kate.
Yeah, they know exactly what their game plan is. They know that they're going to be run heavy, and Frankton is not letting up at all. And for Blackford, they got to change their game plan around real fast.
2nd and 10 now from their own 18. Smith surveys the field. We'll see if he doesn't get involved here shortly. He's going to hand it off. This time a little bit of a better run, a little space, maybe 3 yards that time. It'll be 3rd, and still a pretty long ways to go for an offense that has struggled in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I was going, you are right, though. They have struggled, so any positive thing is definitely key for this Blackford offense. But remember, this is a team that lost 49-0 a week ago. And frankly, I think that Frankton has watched that game highlight, and they know exactly what they're going to run. And so far, they have proved that point exactly. So I've got to start thinking that Blackford's going to change around their offense just a little bit, maybe even the formation. Because, frankly, you mentioned it, that their sophomores are not holding up right now.
Still no formation change as of yet, as the quarterback Smith is going to drop back to pass, and he was off the money that time, through the hands of number 20, Gage Dow, and Dow is hitting himself a little bit after that drop. It'll be a 4th down.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad of a throw. It was actually a decent throw, but a little bit behind him. As a result, he was never able to get set, and it was an incomplete throw. So that'll bring up a 4th down, and now they're getting the ball right back for Frankton.
On to punt now for the 3rd time tonight. It is Grant Ridgway.
Speaking of that time clock, they did not use any time.
They did not. That tag team duo of Nunley and Douglas are back deep to return. This time it is going to be Douglas, and he takes a hit, and he's dropped a huge special teams play by Blackford's Brian Hernandez, getting it done where it matters most on the special teams side, and he drops Douglas all the way back in Frankton territory.
Hernandez maybe creating a little bit of spark, maybe just for this defense, but just anything to get this Bruins defense, or for that, their team just going. So maybe that play, that was a really nice punt. As a result, they're going to be at about the 48-yard line to start this drive.
And now it's all up to the Blackford defense. Can they come up with a big stop here against Frankton? They did so early. It was 0-0 after the first drive. But Frankton's first pass of the evening falls incomplete. Rastetter not getting going here early. It's 2nd and 10, and that could be exactly what Blackford needed on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. Just any little positive glimpse of excitement or just anything to get them going.
Really, it has been a game dominated by Frankton here early, but
Yeah.
very much within reach of Blackford. It's 13-0 at the moment between these two teams, and really anything could give Blackford the spark that they need. It is Rastetter under center once more. This time he'll pitch. A nice hole out to the right, and some great speed this time, and all the way down inside the 35 before a big hit was delivered. Nate Lazatter on a nice run, and perhaps even a nicer hit for Blackford's Brian Hernandez on the defensive side.
I gotta say, that's like the 3rd or 4th time we've called number 44 Brian Hernandez's name, is that he's at least making an impact on this defensive side. So maybe look to him for some spark or something. But right now, once again, Frankton's offense is rolling, and something that we did talk about is that they're going to have quick tempo, and we have seen nothing short of that.
Yeah, Blackford is trying to reel after that after the great tempo that Frankton has showed, and they are going to take a timeout as well. We are going to head to the break here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. We'll be right back.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
The teams retake the field here in quarter number 2 at Frankton High School, with the Eagles continuing to drive up 13-0 over the Blackford Bruins. They're going to restart after the Blackford timeout here at the 33-yard line. And under center once more is going to go Gage Rastetter. 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff here on 1st down. It's Crew Farrell. Farrell bouncing off tacklers again. So shifty running the football. And he goes inside the 30-yard line after a 5-yard pickup.
Nice hurdle there. I saw that little second effort as he got secondary, trying to hurdle over for a couple more yards, and it did work out. So it'll bring up 2nd and short now for Frankton. And once again, there's no stopping that running game.
Farrell and Lazatter are running with a purpose here early for the Eagles. Only one man in the backfield, however, this time with Rastetter. We'll see if he passes on 2nd and 5. It's actually going to be play action. He's got some space now in the backfield. Hauls it downfield towards the end zone. Picked off. What a play that time. A great read on the defensive side for Austin Smith. And Blackford has this game within reach. 13-0 with 8:30 to play in the second quarter. They'll be deep in their own territory, but still, what a play to hold off what has been an unstoppable Frankton offense.
Absolutely phenomenal play there by Austin Smith, able to read it perfectly, as you mentioned, and really a perfect time jump to pick that off. And now, as a result, it was not in the end zone, so they will have 99 yards to go to get a touchdown. But here's the chance. 8.5 minutes. Here is their chance to get a nice drive here.
It's a tough ask for Blackford, a team that's struggled on offense within the shadow of their end zone, to start at the 1-yard line, but they really just want to avoid a safety here to not add more points to Frankton.
Yeah, and I will say this, even though the throw, first off, was underthrown there by Rastetter, he had him wide open, but as a result, Smith able to make a great play. He had number 14 on the far side open, too, in the end zone, but just not a touchdown, as you mentioned.
And a solid run forward there on 1st down to move out of the shadow of the end zone. They'll be from the 4-yard line now, where they'll have 2nd and 8 or so. It was Austin Smith, the man who had the interception, just a play ago.
So maybe look to Austin Smith for that momentum here on offense. He got it on defense.
Yeah, these are two teams that are much smaller teams, much smaller schools. A lot of guys playing two ways. They can carry that momentum over from defense to offense. Smith is a testament to that. Now, under center goes Carson Smith, the quarterback. And Austin Smith is going to be dropped way, way back They'll give him forward progress at the line of scrimmage, but he was thrown all the way back towards that goal line. The Frankton defense continues to be dominant over the Blackford offense.
Yeah, that was very generous because they got to be very careful where they are and that they make sure this ball does not go into their own end zone because that's a safety, and that'll make it 15-0. Not only that, but Frankton's got the momentum right back. And I know Blackford hasn't looked good on offense, but they can create something here, just a little bit of a spark just to get that offense going because we saw it on defense. Here's their chance on offense now. But a big third down, as you mentioned, coming up.
3rd and 7 is what the officials have it listed as. From the 5-yard line, they somehow gave him a yard on that play, but flags are going to fly before the snap is even had, and it looks like false start on Blackford.
So flag on the field, call is false start against the Bruins.
That's half the distance to the goal. It'll be from now the 2.5-yard line or so. Now 3rd down and 10.
3rd down.
Still, they are hurting themselves, and that's like the 3rd or 4th false start or offsides penalty in this game. So both teams very jumpy out of the start, and can you blame them? It is senior night. It is the final regular season game of the year.
It is, and we don't always see false starts and offsides movement up front. We don't always see that at the high school level, but both of these teams have been jittery early. Now 3rd and 10. It's a handoff, and right up the middle goes Blackford. They'll get a decent chunk of that penalty yardage back, but still well short of that first down. It'll be 4th down and about 5 for the Bruins coming up now.
I can commend the run, but I'm going to give credit to Nicholas Ely because it looked like he had the ball the entire way and fooled out about 3 or 4 of those Frankton Eagles defenders. So he gets all of my credit. But, you know, as a result, they did get a positive yard, but as a result, giving it right back to Frankton. They're hoping for a really good punt here.
They are. Frankton has been pretty solid reading the offense of Blackford in the backfield pre-snap. They got him a little bit that time.
Yeah.
Put together a nice run, but a high snap here on the punt. Still able to get it away barely. It's a bit of a shank. Just escapes the red zone. Takes a Blackford bounce. And Frankton's going to pick up right where they left off with even better field position now inside the 30.
So now we'll see if Rastetter can bounce back after that interception that he threw just maybe 2.5 minutes ago.
Just a few minutes ago.
Once again, they used no time, the Blackford offense did.
Well, Blackford had a strong defensive front on the last drive. We'll see if they're able to continue that here on this drive. Frankton has had positive drives the entire night. Blackford has yet to put together much positivity on the offensive side of the ball at all as Rastetter goes under center. He'll pitch it out to his left. Lazatter takes a hit, spins away from the tacklers, and that time it was too many Bruins in his vicinity. They wrap him up after about a 5-yard carry.
Still a decent run because there were not a lot of blocks, so he found whatever he could. Bounced to the left side, and got himself a nice 5-yard gain and bring up 2nd and medium.
We've mentioned all season the importance of keeping the legs churning as a ball carrier. Both Lazatter and Farrell have done that here in half number 1 at Frankton High School, and they're a big reason why the Eagles lead. This time it is going to be Farrell, and he is tripped up in the backfield from behind. Just about a yard short is Crew Farrell of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1. Frankton is a team that can also kick field goals, courtesy of Colson Failing, the junior kicker, number 30. So even if they aren't able to pick up the first down, still well within his range.
I think if they don't get this, I think they might go for this here being.
They are going to get it though with Lazatter forward, and he just stumbles his way through that Blackford defense. Couple of yards, but it's exactly what they needed, and they move the sticks.
You know, it is senior night, as we mentioned, and I would love to see Gage Rastetter really bounce back after that interception and make an impact not only on the ground but through the air and find one of those big wide receivers for a touchdown here.
They do have quite a few wide receivers listed as starters. Nunley at 6'2", Douglas at 5'10", and Carmack at 6 foot. Blackford's secondary is not very tall, so Frankton does have the size advantage in that category, but they're going to stick to the ground with Crew Farrell bouncing out to his left, trying to set the edge. Still able to move vertically, picks up about 5 yards, but it'll be 2nd down.
But I mean, I will say this. If I was the Bruins right now, or if that was the carry, that I would be very pleased with a 4-yard gain. So, once again, Frankton run heavy but successful.
We'll see if they stick with that run here on second down. They will. It's a little bit of a reverse. This time they're going to give it to Douglas, but Blackford did a great job reading that.
Yeah,
and
they
a couple
did.
of Bruins went in there, especially number 16, Donovan Soto. He played quarterback a little earlier. He's listed as a split end, not a starter on defense. He is a starter on defense at the cornerback position, but he makes a great tackle that time against Douglas to force 3rd down and 6.
56 Fisher was also in there making a nice tackle as well. So, big 3rd down now for Frankton and for Bruins to get off the field.
And taking a hit in the backfield. What a great play by Blackford, and they're able to finish him. Oh, my gosh, he's still on his feet. He won't go down. Gage Rastetter fighting for absolutely every yard, but it turned out that he just kept losing yard after yard trying to stay on his feet. But what a great play by the Bruins to be able to read that. Oh, no, and he's holding his shoulder now. Perhaps just fixing his pads there. That's at least what we hope for, as it's going to bring the field goal unit out for the Eagles.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he's fine, but even though that was a great job by the Bruins of getting in very quickly, great effort, even though he lost yards of keeping that play alive, and I feel like that goes back to keeping those legs turning, what you mentioned earlier.
So now after the missed extra point on the last touchdown, they'll call on Phalink again for a field goal. This coming from the 25, and it is blocked. It's going to be picked up in the backfield. Blackford started celebrating. Frankton still tried to pick it up looking for the 1st down, but once again, the Bruins hold the Eagles scoreless, and they've got much better field position this time, Caden.
Yeah, so 2 times where Frankton's had it deep inside Blackford territory and 2 times where they haven't, so that defense really stepping up here in that second quarter. And honestly, if their guy Braden Douglas was able to return that, this whole place would have gone bonkers.
It would have.
Because of the impact that he's made in this first half. But now, once again, it's Blackford's chance to get the offense going. They got 2.5 minutes, and they've played with quick tempo, so now you kind of have to if you want to get something going into the locker room. And this is such a pivotal drive for them to gain any type of momentum as we head toward halftime.
Unfortunately, that we have seemed to say that about almost every single drive.
I will say, we said that at the very first drive.
Which one will be the deciding drive, however, for the Bruins? Perhaps this one. It's Smith under center. He's going to drop back to pass now. He has a man downfield. He's going to take a shot, and it's going to go off the hands, bobbled, but caught. And down the field goes Blackford. He's on his feet still towards the end zone, and he's brought down, but into the end zone for a touchdown. Oh, my goodness. What a play by the Bruins. It was Carter Klaus downfield, the tight end, who gets it done for Blackford. He bobbled it a couple times, but he has opened the scoring for the Bruins when they needed it most.
There's that quick tempo, but for the Bruins, a beautiful throw there. And now as a result, they are right back in this game. Great job by Klaus of able to control the ball because he bobbled it at first. But as a result, held it and then stiff-armed 2 guys and got his way into the end zone. That is a big, big touchdown.
Frankton is absolutely in shock right now. Carson Smith has not thrown a passing touchdown all year. Yet after that big, big play down the field, it is 13-7, just a 1-score game now between Frankton and Blackford. We are going to take a break here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Don't go anywhere because we've got some great action now in what is a very close game right after this.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have 0 to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, after a spectacular touchdown by Blackford to bring us to almost a close here in the second quarter. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, and Blackford scored exactly when they needed it. An 80-yard touchdown pass by Carson Smith, and I know you're still a little flabbergasted.
I am. What a throw by Carson Smith. Great concentration by Klaus, as we mentioned. But I'm sorry, is that a 2.9 QB rating or 102.9? Because that was a dot from Carson Smith. A beautiful throw, got in double coverage, and as a result, Klaus was able to take it the rest of the way, and now they are back in this game. This is anyone's ball game here.
Very much so. Things got a lot more exciting here towards the end of half number 1. We'll see if Frankton can respond after what was such a great play by the Bruins, and they don't back it up on the kickoff. However, a squib kick falls inside the 50. It looked like just a whiff perhaps that time.
Yeah, I actually believe that it was an onside kick trying to catch them off guard, and as a result, great hands team there by Frankton of collecting it. But I like I like it. They were trying to go for a little trickery. We mentioned it would be on the offense, but maybe on the special teams as well. So as a result, Frankton's set up here. But the Bruins now trust their defense that they can hold them. They've held them the last 2 drives. Let's see if they can do it the third time in a row here right before 2 minutes.
2-minute drill coming for Frankton. They're going to start with a pitch, and great speed by Lazzater again. He's tripped up, but keeps those legs churning once more. Picks up about 8 yards on first down. This team is very good at moving the ball quickly. That's why I didn't like that onside kick call by Blackford, because now it is a very short field for a very prolific offense to go to work.
I completely agree, and I completely understand what you said. I'm just excited to see if the Bruins defense can hold them once again and gain even more momentum, because it seems like they got all of it right now after that long touchdown pass.
It's a 2nd and 2 facing that Bruins defense now. Under center goes Rastetter. He'll hand it up the middle, and Lazzater does the rest. First down, he'll move the sticks towards the 40.
On the run for Frankton before he's tackled by number 55, Daniel Ludwig for the Bruins. But not before he gains enough yards for a Frankton Eagle.
Daniel Ludwig, the linebacker for Blackford, has made a ton of tackles in this game here in this first half. 5'8", 160 pounds, another sophomore. Not another huge guy, but a guy with a lot of fight. As once more, there's going to be a whistle before the start of the play. Timeout taken by Blackford with 1:46 to play. So that's going to stop the clock. What do you think of this clock management here after the big touchdown from Blackford? It could be sharpened up, couldn't it, Caden?
Yeah, as you mentioned, that this is a very quick tempo paced offense, and as a result, I imagine we are going to see the same, especially with how much time is left. But I feel like Frankton's going to run heavy once again, because even though they're at about the 40-yard line, they trust the running backs, and they trust that O-line that they can get them down. And despite not having a ton of success kicking the ball, they've definitely had a lot of success running the ball. And it would not surprise me if they try and run this entire drive, so to seem, here in the last minute and 45 seconds.
Despite the fact that there is a minute and 45 seconds left, and that's not a lot of time to work in football, they still have the ability as a team to run this the rest of this second quarter and still come away with a touchdown. That is how great the run game has been for Frankton.
Yeah.
It is 1st and 10 from the 41 of Blackford. Frankton leads 13-7 here in the closing minutes of quarter number 2. Bunched up is the offensive formation for Frankton. They've certainly mixed it up a little more than Blackford has. And dropping back to pass quickly is Rastetter. He's flushed from the pocket, trying to avoid the hit. Looks downfield, chucks it downfield, and he threw it into the cleats of Donovan Soto for Blackford, the cornerback. It falls incomplete with 1:39 on the clock. So despite the fact that they ran with such proficiency and the fact that Rastetter has thrown an interception in this game, they're going to go to the air here towards the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, maybe trying to catch that Bruins defense off guard. But he did have 12 open on the far side, but as a result, the play developed a little bit too soon or too late, and that rush was right there to make the tackle.
And the rush is there on the run as well. What a great play from Blackford. They are all over Frankton here late in this second quarter, and Frankton's coaching staff agrees they're going to take a timeout to talk things over. We will take a timeout with them here with about a minute and a half to play in quarter number 2, 13-7. Frankton trying to orchestrate a drive up by 6.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Welcome back to Frankton High School, ladies and gentlemen. 13-7 is our score. Sam Niger, Caden Vincent up here with you in the press box at Frankton High School, where the Eagles lead 13-7 over the Bruins. Caden, what do you look to here on 3rd down and 10 now for Frankton after Blackford has stopped them on 2 consecutive plays?
Well, they haven't had a lot of success through the air, as we mentioned, and we saw that on the previous play. So I'd imagine this will be a run play, just trying to keep that clock moving and not let the Blackford red-hot offense all of a sudden get the ball back here and possibly tie it up or take the lead going into half.
Dropping back to pass is Rastetter. He looks downfield. He's got a man, and coming back to make the catch. What a great read downfield. It was Austin Nunley, and he's taken down inside the 10 on a beauty of a throw that time from Rastetter. It was a little short. Nunley doesn't care. He hauls it in anyways.
Yeah, that was a great adjustment there by Nunley. It wasn't the best throw, but able to make a great adjustment as well, getting a big play and setting up themselves deep inside Bruins territory.
Rastetter feels hot now at the quarterback position with 1:15 to play. Under center from the 10, it's 1st and goal. He's going to pitch it back quickly. Lazatter on the carry to the edge, to the end zone, and Frankton answers with a touchdown of their own. They could possibly make it a 2-score game, or they have made it a 2-score game rather. They could make it a 2-touchdown lead if they go for 2 here, as they quickly rush to the line to do. 19-7 after the big touchdown by Lazatter.
What an impact the freshman has made today. Beautiful blocking. I got to give it credit to the O-line once again. I saw the blocking. Lazatter able to do the rest, and as a result, they respond, and that is a great response. And now maybe that onside kick coming back to bite them here.
I couldn't agree more, as the field goal unit is actually going to go back out there trying to get a little confidence for Phalink. It works this time, as the extra point is good, and it is 20-7 now. So once more, it was the onside kick taken by Blackford that comes back to haunt them, and it's a 13-point lead now for the Eagles, 20-7 over Blackford.
Yeah, I just want to talk about that last play, or that last throw by Rastetter. It was just a great adjustment there by Nunley, able to make a play on it. It might have looked like he pushed off a little bit there, but really I think it was more on the safety that he didn't really read the ball well, and Nunley did, able to jump up, make a nice catch, and set themselves up deep. And then the freshman Lazatter able to do the rest and run it in and extend that lead now to 13 points, and that is a big, big touchdown for the Eagles as we head into halftime.
Yeah, Nunley, a guy standing at 6'2", 180 pounds. He's a junior. Losing his quarterback next year, but he can still have a big impact on this offense in the coming season. He's got 4 touchdowns on the year on 23 receptions and 262 yards, and he looks to continue his dominance into the second half. Blackford is not a team that is built for 2-minute drill, or 1-minute drill rather, but they'll still get the ball back with 1:03 to play in quarter number 2, down by 13.
What about 1 minute and 3 second drill?
Yeah, I don't know that they draw this up in practice very often, if we're being honest, but we'll see.
I would agree with that.
We'll see if Frankton can execute the kickoff here. It's a line drive fielded inside the 10 by Blackford. Full head of steam forward for Hernandez. He bounces it back outside looking for any kind of hole, and he's got about the best field position that Blackford has had off of a kickoff, out to the 26-yard line with 56 seconds to play.
Yeah, they have not had great field position, but as a result, they have 7 points, and as far as I'm concerned, that's more than they're averaging all season. So already off to a better start in their in the game tonight here than the other games.
Yeah, it's been a tough offensive year for the Bruins. 6 points per game is their average through 8 games. 56 seconds to work with for Carson Smith and company. And he's going to hand it off on the first play. Hernandez has a hole forward. That's one of Hernandez's better runs of the game. It picks up about 9 on that first down. And it looks like the chains are actually going to move. It's a 10-yard gain, so the clock will stop at 46 seconds to play. Sorry, Caden, go ahead.
No, of course. Honestly, now we're starting to see that running game get involved here. So maybe that big pass there by Smith getting the offense going, and what we said is creating a spark for this entire Bruins offense.
Yeah, we'll see if Smith has another big pass dialed up. He is going to drop back to pass here on first down. He does take another shot downfield, and this time it's just overthrown. He was looking for number 25, the big target downfield, Braxton Mallett, another tight end for the Bruins, and it was just off the money that time.
Yeah, not too bad of a throw at all, just maybe a little bit out of the reach there. But yeah, I like it. I like the call. I feel like if you're the Eagles, you might expect run, maybe just running into the halftime, but instead the Bruins are saying, no, we're here to compete and we're here to win. And so far, even though the scoreboard might say otherwise, there's a fight in this Bruins team.
We'll see if Smith drops back to pass again. He's going to hand it off instead. And right up the middle goes number 22, or goes number 24 rather, for the Bruins, Peyton James. He was our key player to watch heading into this game, but it's been tough going for him so far. He's not the number one ball carrier anymore after the injury. Thought maybe he might have a bigger impact on his last game as a senior in the regular season, but he's been really held to a standstill by the Eagles defense.
Yeah, he has, and that's all the credit in the world to the Eagles defense, as you just mentioned. I feel like maybe they knew that he was going to get a lot of the targets because of him being a senior and a leader for this team both on and off the field, and they've really kept him in check tonight. But these other guys are getting involved. We mentioned Klaus with that big play, the quarterback Smith as well, and now the running backs slowly but surely starting to find those open holes and get something going for this Bruins offense.
Yeah, Smith is not a guy that typically runs the football for Blackford. He has negative 49 yards on the ground in terms of sacks this year. But he's a fairly big guy at 5'10", 180. So if the team wanted to mix it up, they could certainly design a QB run for him. We'll see what they have for us in the last 20 seconds. With Blackford already showing their creativity in terms of the trickery in this game, it could be anything for this last play. Under center again does go Smith. Smith is going to drop back to pass here. Launches it downfield, looking for somebody, and it's picked off by Frankton. Trying to return it now. It's number 11 once more. It's Braden Douglas. And Douglas scampers out of bounds with 7 seconds left, realizing that his offense has a chance to maybe score once more. And Smith is going to be kicking himself after that interception. Not the most accurate of throws we've seen from him tonight.
Yeah, no, but a great pick there by Douglas. And once again, he's making a play on the defensive side. And a really nice pick and a great job after the pick. And a great return, because now that'll set them up.
Yeah, an illegal block in the back by Frankton on the return. However, that's going to back the Eagles way up. So all of a sudden,
is it Hail Mary time?
Yeah, it might be. But after that if that big return is going to be erased after the interception. Unfortunate for Douglas, who is a great return man as it is already, but the cornerback found himself with a lot of space but not a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and I feel like with 7 seconds, depending on how much timeout, is that they could look for a check down maybe to Nunley, or that freshman, lose that, as we called his name, check down, call that quick timeout, and then heave one to the end zone in a better chance and better of possibly getting a miracle here.
Yeah, 7 seconds left in this first half.
Or not.
Frankton's going to play it a little more conservative. They'll take a knee and take us into halftime, 20-7 after the first 2 quarters. Frankton leads at home over the Blackford Bruins. We will be right back with a short little halftime show here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Don't go anywhere. Sam Niger, Caden Vincent for our Friday Night Lights Game of the Week in Muncie, Indiana.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com. Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com. Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Frankton High School, where it is halftime between the Eagles and the Bruins. Hometown Frankton Eagles lead Blackford 20-7. 3 touchdowns by the Eagles, and what a difference it's made for this Eagles team. Caden, let's take a look at our key players heading into tonight. Blackford's key player for us was Peyton James. He has not been as successful as perhaps we were hoping he would be.
No, he is not, and it's been a little disappointing to see, but, other guys are getting involved for that Blackford offense, as well as their defense. I think we got to give the credit where credit's due, and that's to Carson Smith, even though what the numbers said is that he was really inconsistent, not a great quarterback.
He was consistently bad.
He was consistently bad. I think that's a great way of putting it. But, we saw some decent throws from him. Even though the completions might not have been there, we saw that really long touchdown pass to Carter Klaus, and Klaus able to control it and get their offense going. But before that happened, I think we got to talk about the Frankton offense. And it surprisingly starts with the freshman, Nate Luzzatter. He had 2 touchdowns, a big impact. And is it senior night or is it freshman night, Sam?
He has been spectacular tonight, as he has been all season. 2 touchdowns on the evening for him. That makes it 8 on the year, on 118 carries coming into this game with 510 yards. It's been a great night for him. Gage Rastetter was our player to watch, however, heading into tonight. How has Rastetter performed?
He's performed at a really high level. Obviously, with him just being a freshman, he's really stepped up and he's had a lot of great runs. Once again, I got to give a credit to the O-line for those blocks, and Rastetter just able to get to that second effort and not giving up on the run, and as a result, having those 2 touchdowns, and he completely deserves them for the way that he's ran tonight for this Frankton offense.
A little more experience up front on the offensive side, as you mentioned, for Frankton. It is Nate Warren and Hunter Branham, Jarrett Cole, Ty Everson, and Garrick Ellis up front, as we're going to take... It was Nate Warren, Hunter Branham, Jarrett Cole, Ty Everson, and Garrick Ellis Ellis up front for Frankton that got it done on the offensive line for the Eagles. But in terms of our keys to the game for both of these sides, Caden, Blackford, they were instructed by us, at least, to not turn the ball over, be sound on offense, and waste a little time on the offensive side of the ball. How have they done tonight in terms of their offensive possession?
Yeah, and at first, I think the exact opposite, really, is that they've had some fast-paced offense, and we saw that burst early on, I think it was the second play of the game, Brian Hernandez with that 44-yard scamper, and it looked like maybe Blackford was going to pull off or, like, kind of start off to that hot start. But obviously that missed field goal. And I think we got to talk about the missed field goals because there were a lot of points left on the board by the kickers. And as well as from the defense in the red zone that we saw from both teams, really able to stop, but especially Blackford because at one point Frankton could have ran away with it if it weren't for that Blackford defense making some huge plays in the red zone. But, mentioning back to that Blackford time of possession, I've liked what I've seen. I've seen a lot of consistent plays, and they're running a 40 offense where they have trust in their running backs. And even though they haven't had the success that they've liked, there have been some glimpses of hope and some inspirational runs to really get them going. So even though they really haven't taken a lot of time off the clock, we've seen consistent drives, and I think that's something that Blackford should definitely be proud of.
Obviously a team that struggled this year, a team that maybe isn't as happy with the season as they would have liked to have been, but they've looked solid tonight. And the fact that it is a 2-score game at halftime compared to a running clock that we saw the last time we saw Blackford, they lost the game 42-0 against Alexandria Monroe. They should be patting themselves on the back a little bit, and they should also be getting ready for this second half because they very much have a chance to stay in this game. As for Frankton, though, our key to the game for them was to come out hot, come out fast, start with a lot of offensive firepower. How did the Eagles execute that, Caden, in the first half?
Well, I think we got to mention that late first quarter because it was their second and third drive where they really got that offense cooking, and it started, as we mentioned, with Luzader and their quarterback and their play of offense. But basically, I've loved what I've seen from them early. It kind of changed once it seemed like the Bruins got momentum because there was a lot of them that were even though they were back against the walls, the Bruins adjusted their defense extremely well, and as a result, the Eagles had to, either they threw an interception or turned the ball over or left points on the board. So I think both teams should be happy where they are right now, but definitely some adjustments for both teams, as we mentioned, going into the second half.
Yeah, despite the fact that some of the biggest plays in this game have been through the air, this has been a football game dominated by the run. A majority of the plays have been on the ground, and obviously Frankton has had the advantage on the offensive side in that category, but we saw a taste of perhaps what Blackford's defense can bring to the table. How do the Bruins continue that defensive presence up front, stopping the run of Frankton in this second half?
Well, I was thinking about this for a second. I feel like that Frankton, they're going to make adjustments, of course, because they're going to start to figure out what the Bruins know and how they're going to able to stop their run game. So I just feel like the Eagles, they got to come out, and I feel like they will start running the ball immediately. But once they realize the Bruins know their game plan, that they're going to switch either into the pass or maybe not even into the pass, but switch up their running plays, maybe expand the guys who are going to get the ball in the second half and not just have the ball handed off to the freshman.
Well, we knew that this was going to be a clash of cultures heading into tonight, and that, of course, includes coaching as well. It seemed that Frankton made more adjustments in terms of a coaching staff side, mixing up their looks on the offensive side in the first half. Do you think Blackford mirrors what Frankton has already done and changes up their offensive looks, or do they stick to what they're good at, Caden?
I think just stick to what they're good at. It's working so far. I mean, look. You talking about for Blackford?
I'm talking about Blackford, yes,
okay.
The Bruins.
Okay, so, I mean, honestly, I've liked what I've seen. I would keep it because so far, especially, they made some type of adjustment late in that second quarter that really got their offense going. Surprisingly, it wasn't, even though they did run the ball and they did have success late, it was the passing that really got them that spark that they really needed. So, I believe that they're definitely going to do run heavy like we saw back in that in the first quarter and early in that second quarter. But, we're going to see how Frankton's going to adjust to the run game because they had success early on defense, but now Blackford's going to – it's a game of adjustments, and I feel like it's going to be like that all through the rest of the night. And whoever is going to – and I know that Frankton currently has a 13-point lead, but whoever has made the most adjustments or who's going to make the most impact is going to come out with this victory tonight.
Well, there's certainly a lot of football left to be played. In a lot of ways,
Yeah.
the end of this game can be drawn up. This has been our halftime show here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com at Frankton High School. It's Sam Niger and Caden Vincent here with you. We've got about 3.5 minutes until we get rolling at the second half, and these teams will retake the field for more Friday Night Lights action. Until then, enjoy the commercials, and we'll be right back after this break.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com. Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Frankton High School as the Blackford Bruins retake the field down by 13. The score is 20-7. On the road are the Bruins against what has been a dominant Frankton Eagles team in that first half. They average about 20.5 points per game. They have scored that 20 points that they are known for. Blackford also matching their points per game total in that first half. They average 6 points per game. They've got about exactly seven rather. I don't know why I said about 7 tonight. So we have what looks to be a shootout perhaps between these two teams in the second half in terms of their respective offenses. Frankton, however, has a chance to run away with this game. They'll get the ball first to start this second half. We'll see if they can't punch another touchdown in with what has been a dominant run game. And right now, as you can see, both teams on the same side of the field as the Eagles stare down their opponents, the Bruins. Maybe a little mind games here heading into the second half. Sam Niger, Caden Vincent on the call here for you. We are just a couple minutes away from football now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Blackford will kick off to Frankton to start this second half, trailing by 13. The score is 20-7 here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Sam Niger, Caden Vincent joining you for what should be a very exciting second half of football. Caden, what do you look for Frankton to do to start off this second half right on their first drive?
Well, something that was our keys to the game, and that is quick tempo, and that do not be surprised if they come out firing and fast here as we start the second half.
Still awaiting on the Bruins with about 15 seconds left before time expires at the halftime break. Blackford retakes the field to kick it away. Back deep to return for Frankton as they have been all night long. Braden Douglas and Austin Nunley. Nunley has had a pretty solid day returning the football when the ball has been kicked his way. We'll see if that continues here in half number 2. And it looks like the Bruins are going to elect to have a holder. At least it looked like it for a second after what was a very unsuccessful onside kick for their last kickoff. But they're going to back out of it now. And Ridgeway will kick it away to start half number 2 at Frankton High School. Here comes the kick, and we are away in half number 2 at Frankton High School. Another squib kick, and flags come in flying before the clock even starts. And that is going to be offsides against Blackford. So now they'll back that kickoff up even more, Cade. Not the start that they were looking for.
No, not at all. And what did we mention? I don't know if we mentioned this, but minimize the penalties before we even get a second into the second half, or they're already committing penalties. So something they're definitely going to want to limit here if the Bruins want any success in winning this game.
It has not been a dirty game for either of these teams by any stretch of the means, but the jitters up front, the movement before the snap, and now apparently before the kickoffs has been a serious problem for both of these squads through the first 24 minutes. 24 minutes left to play as we will re-kick to start quarter number 3. They'll go with a squib kick again. Not successful again, trying to keep it out of the hands of the returners, but it's a good return regardless by Frankton as they move it over into Blackford territory, rather.
Yeah, I was shaking my head a little bit saying, you're starting the second half like that? I mean, you just lost 5 yards from being offsides. Now you're squib kicking it. Not a great start, at least from the special teams for the Bruins, but now let's see if their defense can step up here.
Well, the defense is the hottest unit seemingly right now for Blackford heading into the locker room. We'll see if they can continue that heat into the second half. Under center to start goes Rastetter. He had a solid first half, mostly on the ground rather than through the air, and he is going to stick to the ground out with the pitch to Lazatter. Lazatter trying to bounce around a couple of tackles. A flag flies in once more, so already the officials making their presence felt here in quarter number 3, slowing things down a lot.
They certainly are, as you mentioned, but this is going to be a hold. I thought I saw at least 2 Eagles holding down. So that's going to push it back. So, hey, I mean, technically a win for the Bruins defense.
And honestly, the Bruins should be happy because it means they're forcing the Eagles to have a little extracurriculars. They're reading this run game for Frankton a lot better right now are the Bruins. It's been a solid start to the second half for Frankton up until this point in terms of the penalties and the recovered onside kick, but now they're backed way into their own territory. They'll start the drive technically from the 44-yard line. Under center goes Rastetter, and he hands it off. It was a completed handoff that time to Farrell on the jet sweep, but he was tripped up in the backfield. So once again, Blackford gets to them, and it's going to be second and forever.
Yeah, and that was a great play, and in Hernandez making another play for that Bruins defense. So we've definitely called his name enough, and he's making his presence known on defense here.
Brian Hernandez getting involved on both sides of the ball as well. He's been a big ball carrier for them tonight. It is 2nd and 20 now for Frankton after a great read by Blackford once more. Under center goes Rastetter. Some movement up front. No snap, though. Oh, and eventually the official does throw their flag, so maybe a little bit of a conversation here before they call against the Bruins. So it'll be 2nd and 15 now.
What is the record for high school flags thrown inside a minute in the second half? Because we might be getting there. That is already the 3rd penalty, and we are not even a minute in. So both teams just
very sloppy.
Yeah.
Very sloppy start to this second half.
But gotta love it for the Bruins defense right now.
Yeah, it is 2nd and 15 now as Rastetter drops back to throw. His pass goes just between the hands of Austin Nunley, and it will be 3rd and forever now for the Bruins.
And Rastetter had absolutely no confidence on that throw, and even though he had Matt open, he had no zip on it, kind of just floated it up and not able to make a play, but it was an inaccurate throw, and now 3rd and 20, and this Bruins defense holding strong here.
Yeah. And a long way to go for Frankton if they want to move the sticks here on their first drive of half number 2. Rastetter drops back, has a lot of time, rolls away from the pocket, takes a hit in the backfield, and he's spun away after only about a 2-yard carry. So the Bruins defense comes up big on what was a very unorthodox first drive. Lots of penalties, but Blackford will take it as they're going to get the ball back unscathed here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, and a nice job, though, by Rastetter of escaping, and instead of a 4th and extremely long, now it's only 4th and kind of long, but a great job, as you mentioned, by that Bruins defense of locking him up and not getting anything.
Braden Douglas will punt for the first time this evening in quarter number 3, and it's a solid punt. Bounces out of bounds inside the 25, so about average field position for Blackford to start half number 2. We'll see if they can't tack on another touchdown to their lone score from that first half.
And how fun has it been to watch Brian Douglas on the kicking or the punting side now? I mean, he's made plays on offense, defense, and now doing it on special teams. What can't this kid do?
Yeah, he has made quite a contribution in all 3 aspects of this game. Also a return man.
Yeah.
We forgot to mention that as well. He is all over the field, nearly on every single play.
And that's something that you would love in the high school level, of course.
It's an overused term, but it certainly applies to Braden Douglas, the Swiss Army knife of this Frankton team. Under center now goes number 1, Carson Smith for Blackford, rather. And he is tackled after about a 1-yard gain. It's going to be a 2nd and 10, very close to the original line of scrimmage.
Number 3, Austin Smith, tackled by 72, Hunter Brandon, and 22, Drew Farrell for Frankton. That'll bring it 2nd down for the Bruins.
Only about 2 minutes have gone by here in this third quarter, been very slow moving. The defenses have dominated here early in this second half. Can Blackford dial something up here on 2nd down, though, to change that?
Yeah, we mentioned both teams so far have made adjustments to that running game. Let's see if they open up the pass game now. They had success in the first half. Now let's see if they do it here in the second.
Carson Smith pitches it away. A little room for Hernandez to run, but that is quickly lost as the Frankton Eagles defense swarms him to force 3rd down and long.
You know, I'd like to see if our key player of the game might get involved here, Peyton James. You know, as we said, it is his final regular season game, and He's missed. He's been injured, so it would not surprise me if they bring him in here and try and have him do something, you know?
He and Hernandez are both seniors. James was really the running back one heading into this year ahead of his injury, but afterwards, Hernandez has certainly taken up a bulk of the carries. Oof. James is in the game right now, as is Hernandez, so we'll see who gets the call here on third down. It is going to be Hernandez, and he has a little hole out to his right, but it will be a short run once again, as it's going to be fourth down and about 8 or 9 for the Blackford Bruins offense.
So far, both teams running the ball and both teams not having a lot of success, although, hey, at least the Bruins are having more success running the ball than the Eagles, so that's something that the Bruins have to be happy of, at least. But again, nothing on the scoreboard.
It was a positive drive that time for Blackford. The same could not be said for Frankton at the start of this second half. So after only about 4 minutes, we've already had a drive apiece from both of these sides, and it's a shanked punt this time. It's going to trickle all the way up to the 45, so Blackford will take what they can get off the bounce, but better field position for Frankton now.
Yeah, but so far, that Frankton field position has not been their friend, surprisingly, is they have been on the Bruins' side of the field pretty much the entire night, really, and just not a ton of success. I mean, you see they have 20 points on the board, but they have left at least 3, maybe even 4 touchdowns on the board because of the turnovers or the sloppy play deep in the Bruins territory.
Yeah, it felt like a period there in the second quarter where we didn't even have to change the camera for a good long while because of the great field position for Frankton. We'll see if they can take advantage of it here with Lizatter. And it's a solid pickup on first down. It's going to be about 2nd and 5 now.
I'm looking to see if there was a penalty. Okay, no, we're good.
Yeah, those flags have been flying all over the field, especially when Frankton is on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, you got to be ready for anything, and especially with this Eagles offense, who's slowed down a little bit. Let's see if they can pick it back up here on the second drive now in the second half.
It is Rastetter under center on 2nd and 5. Up the middle goes Farrell, and he will be just about 1 yard short of that line to gain. Third down and shorts have certainly played to Frankton's advantage on the offensive side. We'll see what they have here on this particular 3rd and 1.
And look for either Braden Douglas, who's done it on all the ends, as we said, or the guy who he's targeted, Bubba Nunley, who's made a lot of plays tonight, and maybe they'll do a check down here on 3rd down, but no.
Yeah, it's going to be a run up the gut now for Frankton as they're going to move the sticks, and that'll be the first down of this second half here after about 5 minutes. It's not often that you get to say that. It has not been a great offensive. It has not been a great offensive third quarter.
But hang on, because of course there's a flag.
There's a flag down. This is going to be much after the play, I would say. Unsportsmanlike conduct. It's a dead ball foul on the Eagles, shooting themselves in the foot here early.
Foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Eagles.
And they really are hurting themselves.
Yeah, that's a 15-yard penalty on the Eagles, backing themselves way up to a 1st and 25 now. So after what was a nice first down to maybe perhaps get the offense rolling again, Blackford can breathe on defense because they know they can stop this Eagles defense from getting 25 yards in 3 plays.
And I mean, it's just uncalled for. You know, you have the momentum and the personal foul as a result now backing them up and hurting that offense. And they're starting at about where they started when they started this drive. So
it's still going to be a 1st and 10 though because it was a dead ball foul. So they're basically starting the drive over again.
I mean, essentially
from the 49-yard line. Dropping back to pass is Rastetter. He's getting a little pressure from the blind side and now up front as well. Takes a hit and he stumbles out of bounds. Nearly flies into the bench on the near side. Picks up a couple of yards. Oh, and a flag after the play as well. It has been a penalty-laden start to this third quarter. We aren't even halfway through quarter number 3. And we have probably nearly tenfold the amount of penalties that we do first downs. And an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty is answered by the Bruins. So now Frankton will move back to where they ended that big run by Farrell.
And the refs really getting a good workout. And for the amount of times that they've thrown that flag here tonight, that's already the 5th or 6th one in just the second half alone.
Caden, I don't know that we have seen as many penalties all year combined as we've
Oh,
seen in this game.
what did we see in Delta last week? 1 or 2, maybe?
Possibly. We saw maybe 3 or 4 in our 3 trips to Delta just in total.
Yeah.
We've seen 3 or 4 here
In the last 2
Yeah,
minutes.
Exactly. It has been sloppy football here for both of these sides at the start of quarter number 3. We'll see if Frankton can dial it up on offense regardless. It's not a great run from Douglas this time, but they'll take it after about 1 or 2 yards.
By the way, I did want to talk about, and really not bring up that personal, even though it did end up helping them big time, but that Daniel Ludwig was right there for that tackle. If he would have grabbed him maybe by the shoestring, it would have been a shoestring tackle and would have been up second and like 35. As a result, now they're up at the 33-yard line, and they have a decent drive going depending on these next plays.
Ludwig's still just a sophomore, as is most of this Blackford team.
Very young team.
Very, very young team, but also there's a little inexperience as Lazatter has the edge and has the first down on 2nd and 10. So he moves the sticks, and he moves the ball into the red zone as well. Another shifty and speedy run by Lazatter.
All right, just hand the ball off to Lazatter and have him do the rest, because so far it has been working. And even though there have been a little bit of glimpses on defense for the Bruins, they have not been able to stop him whatsoever. Excuse me there.
No, you're good. We've had a lot of great food here up at Frankton. They have treated us right here at Frankton High School, as they are going to hand it off on first down again. Lazatter doesn't have the same space that he did on the last play, but this gives us a perfect time to shout out Frankton High School. They've got some great facilities here, not only to go along with what is a beautiful turf field, brand new this season. The hospitality has been great here at Frankton, as it has been with all of our venues all season long.
Oh, it's been the absolute best, and I've enjoyed this time, Sam, working with you, of course, and it's been a true pleasure. But as you mentioned, just all the atmospheres at all the high schools, they've all been so kind and really all class acts and very professional. And especially nothing's changed here at Frankton, and as you mentioned, just a beautiful brand new field just this year that they were able to do.
It is 2nd and 8. Up the middle goes Frankton this time. Oh my gosh, and the ball is out. The ball is out, and it's recovered by Blackford. So the Bruins have light on defense once more. Frankton can't even punch it in after stringing a couple of plays together. And once again, the Bruins have the ball back unscathed in quarter number 3. They have survived over 7 minutes without being scored on at the start of this second half. Can the offense get rolling is the true question.
They are making things happen, aren't they?
And we apologize for the camera angles that you're seeing right now. There seem to be some people up top not on our crew moving the cameras. We'll see if they're We're gonna see if we can't fix that here in the next couple of minutes, as first down is taken right back to the line of scrimmage for Blackford, and a timeout is taken by Blackford. That gives us a perfect time to check those cameras for you as well, ladies and gentlemen. We will return in just a moment here at Frankton High School in a very close game between the Eagles and the Bruins.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
We welcome you back now to Frankton High School, where the Blackford Bruins have just taken over after a great offensive fumble or a great defensive fumble recovery in their own territory, though. But can the Bruins march forward to perhaps answer what has been a dominant Eagles attack, at least through the first half, to see if they can't make this a one-score game? It is going to be 2nd down and 10 for Carson Smith and company, as hopefully we've got those camera angles fixed for the rest of the evening for you. Still working on that, it appears. But we're going to run it on 2nd down. And the ball is loose this time, and Frankton immediately pointing in the direction that they've got it. And it is recovered by the Eagles, so they answer with a fumble recovery of their own. Just a testament to how sloppy this third quarter has been. Both of these teams not handling the football very well the respect of the football has not been there for either of these sides. Caden Vincent is upstairs for us working on those cameras. I am Sam Niger. Pleased to join you once more on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net for our game of the week. Hopefully we'll have Caden return with us shortly. Under center, surveying the field is Gage Rastetter. He's thrown an interception in this game, trying to capitalize after a fumble recovery of their own. Rastetter drops back to throw, receives the pressure, takes a hit, tries to spin away, but he goes down to the turf, and able to get to him was number 24 for Blackford. Up front, it was the big boy on defense. That is Peyton James, known as a runner for the Bruins, makes his presence felt on defense, and that's been one of the stories tonight for both of these squads, is guys getting it done at both the offensive and defensive levels. It is a 2nd and 22 coming up for Frankton. Rastetter checks it down to Lizatter, and he's tackled quickly from behind. Another great read by the Bruins defense. That time it was number 22, Nicholas Eli. So great individual plays back-to-back for the Bruins. 3rd down and still very long for Frankton. They just can't seem to string together enough plays to punch it in. It is 3rd and 16. Do they have a big one dialed up here? They're going to pitch it to Lizatter, trying to get the edge. Takes a shot, bounces off, looking for the sideline. He stumbles forward. Did he get the first down? The official says no, but he says he was very close. It'll be 4th down and 1 for the Eagles. So a 15-yard run on 3rd and forever makes this 4th and very manageable for the Frankton Eagles. Looks like the Eagles are just going to opt for points here to make it a 3-score game. Out to kick for Frankton is Colson Falink. It is 20-7. This would make it 23-7. A 16-point game. It would still be a 2-score game, but certainly puts it a little out of reach of Blackford. The kick is up, line drive, but it's good, and Falink is good for the first time from the field goals. It makes it 23-17, so finally is Frankton able to get points, and we will take another break here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
So welcome back now here as we are trying to figure out the whole camera situation as we are getting some wind. As there have already been so many penalties here in just the second half alone, as the Bruins are going to get the ball after that field goal and making it a 23-7 game. And now the Bruins are getting no good field position, which honestly It's been their alibi all night, so let's see how it plays out here. And it has been the penalties that has hurt them all night long. So let's see how it makes an impact. And it looks like we got everything. So, Sam, let's get it back to you.
Well, it's certainly been an interesting night in terms of technology as Frankton is leading 23-7 over Blackford. And that play was blown dead early for the Bruins. We're trying to get situated back into this game now. It was a nice carry forward by Blackford on that first down. It'll move the sticks all the way up to about the 40-yard line. So a little trickery does the Bruins some good.
And, you know, with that fall time coming in is going to be a lot of wind. And just had to make sure everything was set up there. So
yeah,
now
all of a sudden turned into a very windy night here at Frankton High School. Obviously, our cameras felt the blunt of that. Of course, it is just myself and Caden Vincent here on the call. Nobody upstairs to
it's a two-man show.
Make sure those cameras are working. And the officials are going to be talking things over now. The ball was spotted at the 38-yard line after a big carry that time by Hernandez. Caden, I know you got a little bit of a better look at that play than I did. You want to give it to us what happened?
I did, and I could develop that over the middle and instead did the down. So as a result, he was down. But I'm going to say I thought I heard a whistle before the snap even happened. But apparently not. So my ears have deceived me. And as a result, it was tough to see that play as well because a lot of stuff was happening with upstairs and going on. But nice play there by the Bruins, and now able to set up their offense here with 2 minutes, and they got to get a drive going.
Yeah, 2 minutes here to go in the third quarter, down by 16. And they're going to hand it off up the middle. A nice hole that time for the big boy. That's number 22 for Blackford. That's Nicholas Eli, who has a nice carry on second down to move the sticks. That's going to head all the way up to the 49-yard line. So now some rhythm for Blackford running the football.
Yeah, and I'm seeing some really nice tempo right now. Something that I thought I'd see earlier in the third, but here late in the third as we're about to approach the fourth quarter, I'm liking what I'm seeing. And right now the Frankton defense cannot stop them, so let's see if the Bruins can keep up this strong run game.
Under center again, goes Smith. We'll see if they do look to that strong run game. They do. And a great hit up front by the Eagles. They read that, and they said, not today. They've had enough of Blackford running it right up the middle, play after play. Ryan Hernandez had nothing going that time on first down. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And can you blame them? They've ran it all night. At what point do you realize, all right, maybe let's stop them? But they did it early in the first and kind of in the third, but they're getting back the run game. So let's see how this second down plays out.
Well, after a 20-7 first half, we thought we might see a little more scoring here in this third quarter. Maybe thought the offenses would break things open.
Both of them, yep.
But it's been the defenses that have adjusted and really just the sloppy play from both sides. As the handoff is fumbled.
And right on cue.
Good that time. Yeah, that was perfect. Usually we get the announcer's curse, but that time the game lends us a little gift that time. It'll be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, we do get some calls every now and then.
We do. Hey, a couple weeks ago we were right on the money.
Oh my gosh, were we ever with the players of the game?
Monroe. It was Monroe Central and West Dell that we had. We were fortune tellers.
Spot on.
We were fortune tellers that night.
We should have gone getting a lottery ticket that night. Honestly,
we actually went to Vegas after the game.
Yeah, we did.
I must admit, the same cannot be said about tonight's game. 23-7. Our key players haven't been as impactful, and our cameras have been letting us down. But this game continues, and Frankton continues to dominate on defense with a big sack. Hunter Branham, that's a big man, the 6'2", 250 senior, delivers the blow to Carson Smith and delivers us to the end of the third quarter. Smith is still down, so we are going to step away just to let him have a breather here at the end of quarter number 3. Hopefully he's okay. We will return in just a moment, 23-7 in favor of Frankton on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Start quarter number 4 with a punt by the Blackford Bruins to the Frankton Eagles. Blackford, after switching sides, they trail 23-7 heading into the final quarter of play. 12 minutes left and 12 minutes before Frankton can perhaps capture their 3rd win of the season. We'll see if the Bruins don't have anything to say about that.
And get some momentum going into the playoffs, which is a huge part, especially in this final game of the regular season.
Absolutely. Sectionals are right upon us here in East Central Indiana and across the state. But we've got 12 minutes of play left before we do head to that postseason. And it's a well-executed snap and a better punt this time. It's going to be fielded at the 40 and shedding a tackle and moving forward up the sidelines with some steam on the far side was Crew Farrell. He doesn't usually return the kicks, but it was a short enough kick that he was able to bring it in for a nice start to this 4th quarter for Frankton.
Hey, why not? Go for it. And that was, of course, Bubba Nunley, who's made an impact tonight and now doing it. Of course, he's a dangerous returner. We've talked about that. Dangerous on receiving as well. And a really nice return. And I thought he called a fair catch, but fooled my eyes and fooled the defense as well, as now they're going to set up at the 40-yard line of the Bruins.
Rastetter under center now to start this drive from the 38. Great field position once more. He's going to hand it off. And immediately up the middle goes number 12, or goes number 22. That one is Crew Farrell for real, who has a big first down for Frankton to start this drive and this quarter off right.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to do for Frankfurt. Keep pounding that ball on the ground, keep having success, and more importantly, they're letting that clock run down. And even though there's there's still a whole quarter left, you can't blame them with the lead that they have and the way that they've played tonight.
We'll see if Frankton can't continue that here on this first down. Once again, they will go to Farrell. He's receiving the bulk of the carry at the start of quarter number 4, and it's a nice start on first down. It'll be 2nd and maybe 4.
Down by number 16, Donovan Soto for the Bruins. It'll be 2nd down for the Eagles.
So now 2nd and manageable, and they're putting themselves in these situations to succeed in that. They don't have to get these big chunk plays because they get these little 5-yard, 6-yard plays that really add up and keep this drive going.
When you average 6 yards a carry, it's hard to stop you.
You are having success.
And they have a similar run here on 2nd down to move the sticks. So after what was a very tough 3rd quarter to watch, honestly, very sloppy, Frankton getting back to the basics, getting back to what made them successful in that first half. We'll see if they can't finish this drive off with a touchdown, something that we lacked in quarter number 3 as well.
Getting back to the fundamentals of football. You love seeing it, old-time football.
It has been a very run-heavy game, that's for sure. It's 1st and 10 from the 14 now. Under center goes Rastetter. He hands it off. Once again, Farrell gets the call, but he only picks up a couple on first down.
Crew Farrell on the run for Frankton, tackled by number 24, Peyton James for Blackford.
And there's our guy making a play, Peyton James, on defense. As we thought, we'd hear his name a couple times, or at least a lot on offense, but at least he's making play defense here, or on defense here in the 4th quarter. So
yeah, Peyton James has had his name called a lot more on the defensive side of the ball, perhaps than we thought. Not listed as a starter on defense, but he'll take what he can get in his final regular season game. Is it enough to stop Frankton, though, as they're going to pitch it here on 2nd down? And Luzader has some space out to the right, and he has some space towards the end zone for a touchdown. Luzader once more strikes for the Eagles and perhaps put this game out of reach now for Blackford.
He's got
could perhaps go up 30-7.
He has got the hat trick now, and
does.
what a game for Rassler. And honestly, I think that's all we're going to be talking about is what he's made an impact to this team. And despite him being a freshman, he's a real leader, and he really runs the ball with charisma and very talented young back for sure.
5'6", 165. That's like putting me out there on a football field, and there is no way I could run with the experience and with the
I'm
force,
sure you could compete with them.
the force that Lozada runs. He runs with such power,
He
such
does.
presence.
He does.
And the extra point is up and good to make it 30-7. So after Lozada has dominated this game with 9:47 to play, we will take a quick break here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. We'll return with the kickoff right after this.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Welcome back to Frankton High School once more. 30-7 as the Eagles are starting to put things out of reach of Blackford. Look, Caden, let's give credit to the Bruins where credit is due.
Absolutely.
We thought this game was going to be out of reach a lot earlier than about 9 minutes left to play. But right now, Frankton is finally kicking things into high gear to pull away and give them credit as well.
They are, and this is the team that I thought I would see in the first quarter. And I did in the first quarter, but second quarter really slipped away, and that Bruins offense really got something going. We mentioned it through the air, surprisingly, but the second half, it's been all Frankton. I mean, Blackford's maybe had, I think they had like 2 or 3 possessions, and I think just 3 and out. So as a result, all success for Frankton here.
Well, Frankton gives Blackford a taste of their own medicine with a little squib kick.
This one was successful, unlike the Bruins squib kicks or onside kicks or whatever they were trying to.
It's been a tough day kicking for Blackford. They missed the opening field goal of this game, would have given them a 3-0 lead. It would have been their only lead of this game. And they've struggled on kickoffs and punts as well.
Yeah.
Special teams is being won by Frankton right now. And I know special teams is not everything, but it is a big part of football. There's a reason.
It's a very underrated part of football, as you mentioned. Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. Field position, the kicking, of course. You're leaving points on the board that have a chance of making the difference of a game. I mean, how many NFL games do we see that's separated by 1, 2, 3 points a game?
Yeah, the fact that Frankton has won the special teams matchup by such a wide variety is a testament to why they are up by so many. Their defense is also a big reason why they're up big, and they show you here on first down with another big stop.
Yeah, that Frankton defense does not get enough credit for the way they played tonight. Averaging about 22 points a game, that defense has allowed, but tonight just 7. And I know this is a struggling Blackford offense, but they've had some glimpses, and for Frankton, they've really shut that down tonight. So I think a lot of credit goes to that Frankton defense as well.
It's been a bend but don't break mentality.
Absolutely, it's a great way of putting it.
Frankton's defense tonight. It's been fun football to watch for the Eagles. Blackford hoping they have some fun football left for us in the later stages of this game as there's movement up front once again. And it looks like this time it might be against the Bruins once more.
Wow. We made it almost 3 minutes without a flag.
We did. That was an impressive
very
streak for tonight.
And, of course, it's an offside.
Oh, it is.
Because those are just the majorities that it's all been tonight.
It has. It looked like Blackford thought they moved even. They started to back their offense up before they finally were finally able to get the call figured out and move it in the other direction.
Is it a Friday night, Sam?
It is a Friday night. What can I say?
8:50.
Yeah, 8:55 left to play here in that fourth quarter. As under center goes Carson Smith once more. Smith gets a little jump out of the Frankton defense, but he fumbles the snap, able to pick it back up, and the Eagles get in there to rock his world. It's going to be third down and very long now for Blackford.
So not what they were trying to do there, obviously.
It looks like we might have lost another tripod upstairs, so Caden Vincent is going to head up top to get that situated for us. It is going to be A 3rd down and 10 for Blackford now. Handoff up the middle, and a little bit of space this time. Peyton James makes things happen to move the sticks when we least expected it, perhaps. That was actually number 20 for Blackford, Gage Dow. That's his first touch of the evening. He was targeted earlier in this game, as we're still having some camera issues up top. And that is going to move the sticks for Blackford up towards that 38-yard line with 7:35 to play. Maybe the Bruins have a little fire left on the offensive side of the ball. Under center, it's Donovan Soto now. We saw him early in the first quarter at quarterback. He comes back in now at that position. He hands it off to number 22, Nicholas Eli. Eli has about 2 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and long. Eli lost his helmet at the end of the play. He'll jog over to the bench. Clock will roll at about 7 minutes and 10 seconds to play in quarter number 4. Under center again goes Soto. Soto can't handle the snap this time. Blackford looked like they fell on it just barely at the end of that play.
Ball comes loose, but recovered by the Bruins.
As the wind has really picked up here at Frankton High School, it blew one of our tripods over upstairs. It's blowing over the kicking net on the field, as there's going to be a timeout spent by Blackford. And we're going to take a quick break here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
It's 3rd and 8 now for the Bruins as we return to Frankton High School. Lots of technical difficulties. Why not to finish off the season? As the Eagles currently lead 30-7 over the Blackford Bruins. It'll be 4th and 3 after the carry that time by Blackford. And down by 23, it looks like the offense is going to stay out there for Blackford. It's so windy up top that the coaches are now even coming into the press box because they can't hear over their headsets. So certainly a concern here with about 6 minutes of football left to be played in this regular season. Going forward is Blackford. They're going to hand it off. Hernandez has it untouched before he even, until he has already made the line to gain. And it's a nice 4th down run for the Bruins to move the sticks. And perhaps Blackford fans are wondering where was that all game, as they still only have 7 points in this one, down by 23. Ball's placed at the 44 now. Officials are having their hats blown off. What a crazy finish here with the weather. Not the rain that we're sometimes accustomed to, but even the wind is blowing into the press box from upstairs, and maybe that's messing up the communication as there's some movement up front once more. False start against the Bruins after moving the sticks. The officials are having to hold the ball where they spot it just to keep it from rolling away from the wind. Officials have lost their caps as well. It's been a hectic fourth quarter. It was a hectic third quarter as well in terms of the sloppiness of play, but it's certainly been shored up here in quarter number 4. It's the weather now that's causing us a lot of problems as the football is lost on first and long. The snap was bad again, couldn't be handled that time by Blackford. But thankfully for the Bruins, they're able to recover it. Third and 15 now, or excuse me, second and 15 now for Blackford after the botched snap. The wind is howling up here, even in the press box, as Soto goes under center. Hands it off, and only a few yards going that time for the Bruins. It was Tyler Jordan, the sophomore running back, number 34, who got the carry.
Tyler Jordan on the run for the Bruins, brought down by 66, Elijah Warren for Frankton. We'll bring up third down for the Bruins.
It is third down and 14 for the Bruins now. They had a big pickup on fourth down on their last set of downs, but they'll need an even bigger run perhaps here on third down, and I say run because that's all they've done all night. Their lone touchdown did come on a huge pass from Carson Smith, but Smith isn't even in the game right now at quarterback after an injury, so they will go to the ground, and Eli tries to spin away, but he's dropped for a big loss. The Eagles are in on the stop once more.
22, Nicholas Eli, brought down by a whole team of Frankton Eagles. Brings up fourth down for the Bruins.
It is going to be fourth and forever for Blackford. And they're not going to go for it here. They are going to bring in the punting unit. Clock is going to run at about 3:35 to play here in quarter number 4, as the Bruins are going to punt things away. Decent punt this time compared to what we have seen from Blackford. It's fielded right at the 25, but perhaps wasn't the smartest decision as Blackford drops Molnar almost immediately. Clock is stopped at 3:20 now. And a 23-point game, certainly well without a range of a running clock for Frankton like perhaps we thought this game could get to. Instead, it's just going to go down as a blowout, but the clock is going to continue to run as normal after a 23-point lead right now for Frankton. Rastetter will stay out there as the leader of the offense at quarterback. He pitches it to start the drive. A hole to the right for Lizader, and he charges his way forward towards that line to gain. He might be right there or just short. Ludwig in on the tackle once more for Blackford. He has been all over the field tonight, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And it is going to be a first down. The chains will move. Just barely was Lizader able to make that line to gain to move the sticks. 3 minutes left to play here from Frankton High School. Under center goes Rastetter. Looking to finish this game off with a bang, already up 23. He hands it off up the middle. Once again, it is Lizader, but this time he's not as successful. It'll bring up about 2nd and 5.
They lose that up the middle for Frankton, tackled by 22, Nicholas Eli for the Bruins.
Lizader has been a force tonight running the football for Frankton. Plenty of touchdowns on the evening for him. He's got 3 of Frankton's 4 running the football. The other belongs to Crew Farrell. But it has been a dominant night on the ground for the Eagles, a team that's really known for passing the ball a little more than they have tonight. Rastetter had 133 attempts through the air heading into this game. He had a QBR of 69.6. He had 7 touchdowns through the air. before tonight, but it has been run heavy all evening for Frankton. And it's a great read this time for Blackford. The defense has definitely shored up in this second half. It was 20-7 at the break, and if Blackford is able to hold Frankton to only 10 points here in this second half, that's certainly something to pat themselves on the back before they head home back to Blackford. Clock rolls inside a minute and a half to play now. Just icing the game are the Eagles. Under center, it is Rastetter. He's going to pitch it. Once again, he looks at Luzader, who tries to dive forward and make the line to gain. He's going to be short, and it might actually bring out the punt unit. But Rastetter doesn't look like he's leaving the field. Trying to get the offense some reps here for Frankton. The Eagles have been caught up in a lot of very close games. What? As Caden Vincent is going to rejoin us here up in the press box for this 4th and 3. Caden, glad to have you back. Sorry to see you away with
it's windy up there.
It is. It's obviously it's been a big factor in this fourth quarter, not only on the field, but in terms of our technology upstairs as well. We got a big 4th down here, though, and they're going to run with Luzader again. Why not? He's been dominant all night. As we tick inside 30 seconds to play, this one is going to be a dominant win from the Eagles, but it was certainly a hectic game, not only
Sorry,
us,
did you
but
say
also
a dominant win or dominant wind? Because a lot of both. No, absolutely. You know, honestly, Frankton gets all the credit in the world for the way that they've played tonight. Ran the ball really well, and their defense has been stellar. And before I go up and fix our cameras once again, just wanted to say thank you to Frankton, an incredible venue, lovely facility, and everything that they had. But just a really great win by Frankton, and really will get them a lot of momentum going into the playoffs.
The final whistle has been blown here at Frankton High School as Caden Vincent is going to go back upstairs to check on our cameras for the last time. And unfortunately, despite the fact that we had some technical difficulties, this is going to be the last time that we sign off here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. We're going to have a quick little post-game show after this break, but it was Frankton that got the win, and in dominant fashion, 30-7 over the Blackford Bruins here at Frankton High School.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com. Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Well, it was a game wrought with penalties, wrought with sloppiness, and certainly the wind to carry those penalty flags once they were thrown. But at the end of the day, Frankton gets a dominant win over Blackford at home for the last game of the regular season. 30-7 is our final score from Frankton High School, and for the final time this season, this is Sam Niger signing off on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for having us to Frankton and to all our wonderful venues that we visited this season. It has been a great season of high school football here in 2022. We cannot wait for the postseason and as well 2023. From Sam Niger and Caden Vincent, of course, we would like to say thank you and have a great night, everyone.
It's Friday night and time for Indiana. Tonight's game on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net has been driven by Greg Hubler Ford, located at the corner of McGalliard and Nebo Road in Muncie, or visit them at GregHublerAuto.com. And brought to you in part by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at UniversalRFG.com. By Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at GenesisSportsPerformance.com. And by High Gear Marketing at HighGearMKTG.com. This has been a presentation of IndianaHighSchoolSports.net and High Gear Sports.